I was going through a round of IVF with my husband, and we were halfway through the round, everything was going amazingly well, and I started to get some changes in my right breast. I think it was 10 biopsies in the end. They said it's already spread, and there's nothing you can do. Oh gosh, the only thing that really pops to mind is like in my DMs when I'm talking to my followers and I get that one that goes, I've just been to the doctor because of you.
That's the story of how you found out that you had cancer.
Gosh, okay, well, right to the beginning. So 3 years ago now, it doesn't seem possible. But I was going through a round of IVF with my husband, and we couldn't conceive naturally, so we were getting some assistance. And I've always been someone that's really aware of my breasts. I've got quite a strong family history, so I knew almost what to look out for, but I didn't quite believe it. And we were halfway through the round, everything was going amazingly well, and I started to get some changes in my right breast, and I thought straight away, I know this isn't right. I spoke to my IVF nurses, and they sort of said, you know, they were trying to calm me down. They said, look, we're pumping you full of loads of hormones. It's just going to be the drugs, don't panic. But my gut knew better. And this is what I say to everyone that I ever speak to. If you know in your gut that something's not right, don't put it off, because your gut is 9 times out of 10 it's correct. So I did against what my nurses said and went to the doctors and had the confidence when I walked in there to say, I've got this symptom, this symptom, this symptom. I know it's breast cancer. I need you to refer me, which I don't think a lot of people have that confidence, whether they don't know what they're looking for or, you know, they think that if the doctor says it's fine, that's going to be okay, and that, you know, it's their job. They should know. My nipple had gone in, my skin was inverting, and I was getting these horrific stabbing pains, like a knife to the boob, like really grab your boob kind of situation. And I said all of this to the doctor, and he's like, yeah, I think you're right. I think we need to get you referred ASAP. They did, I think it was 10 biopsies in the end, mammogram, ultrasounds, and I could see it on the consultant's face. I didn't even have to ask the question. And I sort of just said, and I went, it is, isn't it? And she said, I can't tell you for sure, but I'm 95% sure it is. So I was like, fine, I've got this, no problem. Like, I see it all the time. People do really well with breast cancer. Like, it's a really curable cancer. And then just casually in the conversation, I said, oh, but I don't know if I can get on a scanner flat because my back's been hurting quite a lot recently. And that obviously raised a massive red flag. I went to see my surgeon to get my plan and to find out what chemotherapy I was going to be starting. And they said, I'm going to get emotional. They said, it's already spread and there's nothing you can do. And I was like, what do you mean there's nothing you can do? There must be something. And it was just really poor words, because it was my surgeon telling me that, not my oncologist. So as a surgeon, she was right. There was nothing she could do. There's no point having a mastectomy or anything like that. And so I met my oncologist the next day, started treatment, and it's been 3 years and I'm still here.
Okay, so how often do you check your breasts, and did you always check them prior to diagnosis?
Yes, I did. I've from probably the age of 12, 13, been checking my breasts, and it's every single month, at least once a month. Generally speaking, you can go a couple of months, but I always tell people once a month. And it doesn't have to be the same day every month as well. It should be, what's recommended is at least 7 days after. So if you're someone who's having periods still, 7 days after your period, because your period can make your boobs change and all sorts of symptoms arise when it's nothing to worry about and people will freak out. So don't do that, but at least once a month.
What was it as a 12 or 13-year-old? What was it that inspired you to always check your breasts?
I think it was just, my mum was always a very good driving force in getting me to look after myself in that way, because her mum died very early of breast cancer. So because we've always had that emotional connection to the disease in my family, it's been, you know, as soon as you're starting to mature, you need to be looking after yourself. So yeah, very early on.
What do you think you'd say to our audience to inspire them to do the same? So if you could sum it up in a sentence, what would you say?
I think it's changing the mentality around breast checks. So look at it as a way of looking after yourself and an act of self-love and not looking for cancer, and it will be easier to do it every month.
What do you think it takes to be a legend?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I don't think it's anything special. I think it's just being 100% authentically yourself, and that's just you. Everyone then would, as long as you're yourself, you're a legend.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Oh God. I would absolutely love it if I could have encouraged someone else to live their life as if they've only got one day to go, to be completely 100% confident in themselves and believe in themselves, and to know their bodies and to know what to look for and to have the confidence to do something about it if something goes wrong, and just to live life with 100% gratitude and love in your heart.
When you first had that conversation with that doctor, what was the first thought that ran through your mind?
How long have I got to live? That's all that went through my head. I'm weirdly proud of myself without being really big-headed. The fact that even with everything I have to deal with, and I live my life in 3 monthly blocks, and that's not easy. And to not be able to have the privilege of looking ahead more than 6 months. And it doesn't look like it now, and I'm getting really emotional about it, but I think I live in a really positive, strong space, and I've got myself to that space, and I'm proud of myself for that.
What would you say the most common misconceptions are for thinking with anything sexually cancelled?
The most common misconceptions: we're not ill because we don't look it, that we don't feel ill and we don't have side effects, that you can live, that it's curable. People don't realise that it's a life-limiting disease. It's just the lack of awareness. People think that you can still have children. You're infertile as soon as you get, you're put into menopause, if that's your line of treatment. The fact that we can function as normal human. We can't. There's so many, people don't see the side effects and what we have to deal with, not only physically but mentally every single day. And it's a huge burden to bear, to hold and to carry. So it's just, I think the main one is that we are, that we're well, and that it's not really affecting us when it is massively.
What advice would you give to someone who is a little anxious about going to the doctor because of what that might mean?
Okay, so it varies between people, but the advice that I give is, generally speaking, if you found something, unless it's glaringly obvious and you've got all of the different signs of breast cancer, give yourself a few days, give yourself a week to see if it changes, because 9 times out of 10 these things can be hormonal, or we can work it up in our head to be something that it's not, and you don't want to put that extra stress on yourself. If it is something that's really glaring or it's still there a week later, try to change your mindset from I'm going to the doctor because I think I have cancer to I'm going to the doctor to look after myself because I've noticed a change in my body. It's an act of self-love and it's a powerful move. It's just about changing that mindset. You're not looking for cancer, you're looking after yourself. Stay true to yourself, but always trust your gut.